fishing news is brought to you by Okuma.
The Fisherman is on location again this week at the Atlantic City Boat Show. We've got two booths here, 155 and 826, with 28 fishing seminars here. It's going to be a great event, Wednesday through Sunday. We're here every day, folks. So many seminars, so much to talk about in the world of fishing. I hope to see you here. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. And while the Atlantic City Boat Show is indeed the big boat show for us here, especially in South Jersey, the big news that we have in New Jersey, of course, is the March 1st opening of striped bass. The back bay season opened up as of Thursday, March 1st. Not just striped bass, but winter flounder as well. Sunny and warm on Wednesday. Don't you wish that was the opening day? Lo and behold, March 1st, overcast, light rain expected. And of course, we get into Friday, it looks like a washout. Then the northeast winds pick up all the way through Saturday. So that's definitely going to impact the boats that are sailing this weekend as well. Keep an eye on that weather. But I have to tell you, not for nothing, but 2017's start of the striped bass season in New Jersey was much the same. Folks hiking their gear on out to the sod banks had to deal with light rain and some fog. But bloodworms definitely put quite a few striped bass on the banks as of opening day last year. I would expect much the same this year. In fact, speaking with many of the Central and South Jersey tackle shops, they're telling me they're really expecting a banner spring with these striped bass. The bays and rivers are loaded with them. Folks fishing for perch have been stumbling into quite a few striped bass. Bloods, sands, clams, if you can get them, if you feel like soaking a bait. Although speaking with Dennis at Murphy's Hook House this week, he said the paddle tails and jerk shads should work just the same. He says the Barnegat Bay area is loaded with small striped bass. He said the Toms River is loaded with striped bass. He said he wouldn't be surprised if guys casting from Island Heights up to the golf course with those swim shads and jerk shads should definitely catch a few stripers there. Next week, I expect in our report, our video forecast, we should have plenty to report on people's success for the opener of striped bass. But despite the weather, I'm telling you, you can get out there and expect to find some small fish. And it's only a matter of time before we get some of those keepers and those silvery ocean run keepers as well. Looking forward to it. Winter flounder too, of course, chum pot and a bulkhead. Light tackle opportunities with the bloodworms, Barnegat, Manasquan, Shark River, of course, Navesink, and Shrewsbury as well. Spoke to Bobby at Fisherman's Den earlier this week. He said the seals have been eating winter flounder. Seals popping up. You see them eating the winter flounder, so he knows those fish are there. So that's good news for you guys who want to get out there and get a couple of blackbacks. Really sweet tasting fish this time of year. Our boats are sailing when winter weather allows. At this point, cod, pollock, and ling for the most part. Porgy, sadly, came to a close for a month as of February 28th. March 1st, no porgies. Now, that's not possible to me. The Mid-Atlantic Council recently said that New Jersey can keep the porgy season open 365 days. Governor Murphy, come on, get with the program. I see emergency closures all the time. How about an emergency opening for those folks that want to go out and add porgy to the bag limit? Blackfish in New Jersey, of course, is also closed for the month of March. If you want to get your tog fix, go south, my friends. The Delmarva Peninsula is where the fishery has been a little bit better, and Delaware is still open for togging in the month of March. In fact, Lewis Harbor, they've been carrying hermit crabs, white leggers, and even blue crabs if you want to spice up the mix, looking for those blackfish down south. Now, freshwater side, one guy I know who has been fishing every single day that winter allows him to fish is Frank Rosinski, who told me he had 4 largemouth over 20 inches last week. 4 over 20 inches last week alone. Kind of meshes what we've been talking to some people about, that the largemouth have been very active. Manasquan Fishing Club's Big Al Monteverde, he's been keeping practice too by getting into some of these good freshwater options. Again, pick up the March edition of the Fisherman magazine. Come out to the boat show, I'll give you one for free. There's a great article from Nick Honicheski on targeting those winter flounder. Milt Roscoe has something on that early spring striper fishery. And of course, the pre-spawn largemouth with Bruce Litton. He'll give you everything that you want to know about getting into that fishery. Now, while not a target, certainly an impressive fish here for Joe Casal. He was fly fishing in the mud hole. He calls it the mud hole in Nutley, surprised by this pacu. I think it's a Central American fish. no idea what it was doing in that body of water. Although I'll tell you, Joe tells me that as far as carp goes, outstanding fly tackle target. He says that those big carp get right down into his backing, so give that a shot sometime. As we're here setting up the Atlantic City Boat Show this week, there's a big meeting in Brigantine. You surfcasters, especially you guys who get buggy permits, definitely want to stay in tune with the North End Access. State Department of Environmental Protection is doing that this year, so if you want to get a permit, they're only doing 500 permits at the North End this year. 141 of them have already been sold. Get on that fast. $50 for residents of New Jersey, $75 for non-residents. If you want some information, call the Bass River State Forest folks. That number is 609-296-1114. Got to protect the piping plover. Finally, good news from Capitol Hill this week. The Senate committee responsible for fisheries approved the Modernizing Recreational Fisheries Management Act. That's Senate Bill 1520. Now that bill is supported by the entire recreational fishing industry, from the National Marine Manufacturers Association that puts on this Atlantic City Boat Show to our friends at the Recreational Fishing Alliance. They're right behind me. Come on out to the show. Ask the folks at the RFA about what's going on in the world of fisheries management and politics. They'll give you the information. Of course, we're over at booth 826, and we've got a front booth 155. We've got you coming and going. So I hope you come out and see us this week. Plenty of great seminars, deep blue water, the canyons, inshore, back bay, whatever you need, we've got it this week. I've got the full seminar lineup posted at thefisherman.com. Next week, our video forecast. I'm going to run down all the striper catches because I bet you there's plenty of them. Until then, my friends, catch them up. We'll see you here again next week at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is brought to you by Okuma.